This is IBM Museum. I'd actually not planned a video tonight. I was going through and just reading up on a little bit of the maintenance manual for the 5394 and just getting ready to shut things down. And I remembered that I had not gone through and imaged that diskette from the 5494. That was the live stream I did on Saturday. And as I went through, get this in the right position, don't get too much reflection off the ring lights. I had noticed that it has this extra density marking on the diskette. I was trying to read it in a 1.44 megabyte drive and just realized I had to pull out a later PS2 that has a 2.88 megabyte drive on it. And this has been my development machine that's behind me. This got all opened up. I've got the back piece off of there. In fact, I looked at the PS2 connectors on the back, and without the embossed icons, I wasn't sure what was the mouse and what was the keyboard. Actually had to look it up online to effectively remind myself. I was almost sure, but I just didn't want to take a chance. Now, this machine, it's been interesting that just looking around for switching my uh, it does indeed have a 2.88 megabyte drive that I've got on top of things that works. The electronic eject um, drive that I have in there right now is not reading diskettes. So it's a good machine for the using in this instance. And um, I went through and I realized with me using this as a development machine that I was running out of drive space on this system. I only have a 240 megabyte hard drive. I need to get some other zip disk and some other things set up on the system so I can go through and move files around and have as much space as I need. And so I was going to go through. I'll run the directory command first without any switches, just to kind of look through. And I only have 8,192 bytes free on this system. I've crammed so much stuff on there. And so it was, I was kind of thinking to go through there and to look through what I could remove. Not so much for just to copy the files from the diskette over and be able to zip them up on the system and then get them off with a 1.44 megabyte diskette is probably the way I'd go. And so going through just in my directory listing, there is some stuff I can probably clear out of here. But I came across this in the last page that a directory that's marked as 5494. I thought that's just the craziest thing. Why do I have that? I think I've seen this in previous instances, and I'm always kind of like, I thought that I dumped some contents out of some equipment or something else. The 5494 combination didn't ring a bell for me. And so changing over to that directory, going through, doing a directory with the pause so we get a screen full at a time. I mean, we see boot files there that IBMBio.com, IBMDOS.com. It's got some DOS version on there. I'm right off the top of my head, I'm not readily familiar. It's a February of 1994 date. But it does have these files in there, and even this dump 5494 .dat. I wasn't really sure of some of these files. It's got some bin files there, um, other things that a set clock. It looks a little diagnostics. Um, it looked to me a little bit like the uh, some sort of reference diskette. The command.com is from 1992. There's a command.com from 92 as well. And so that doesn't match up with those earlier files. But, this is just recognizing some of the, especially the sc.com, going through that this thing just looks like a reference disk effectively to me. And so I looked down through the listings, and it's got diagnostic files and everything else. The config file for a 5494 is what it's labeled as. And I wasn't sure with all the files on, if this is comparable to what the diskette was supposed to be. So let's go through and I'll put the diskette in the drive. And I'll do a directory of the A drive, and let's do the pause the same way. So we see the same contents as what this diskette already on the system. I'm looking to go through. It was, just trying to see where I could go through and pull some files to make some space. I'll have to determine if I have a like the PK zip or something like that, maybe, and I probably have it elsewhere too, to go through and to get these files, able to where I'm able to get them off the system onto a conventional 1.44 megabyte diskette drive, compressed, to be able to move them to a system I've got with 1.44 megabyte drives, able to get on the internet, and I can go through and have that zipped up image, or be able to get it out there, get it to Major Tom so he can go through and list that among the files. So I just thought, I don't know how many years ago that I did this, that I already went through and had copied that diskette, realized it was extra density at that time, realized it was a 2.88 megabyte diskette, and copied on the system, and I didn't do anything more with it. I just thought, well, I'll go through and preserve the diskette contents at that time, I guess. And maybe there's some files in there that give an indication of when I copied it over. It doesn't really have it's just going to give a directory listing for the creation of the directory. It won't give the system won't have a date for that. But I decided interesting that I already did a lot of the legwork. The only thing I didn't do is get it compressed up and get it online, or who knows, maybe I'll need to look through what I have online and find out that too. Look to see if I have it zipped up on that disk or anything like that. But so I'm at least I have the files duplicated. I know that both copies are good. The diskette still has the good contents, and I've got good content stored away. So it's just a matter from here, compressing that stuff up and getting the right places. So I I just get learning where my memory is not quite what it used to be. I didn't know when I did this, but it's kind of a relief that I did, or I was looking to focus on that, realize what capacity that diskette was to do it, and we'll move further with this. So if you enjoy me going through and trying to figure out my memory, click on that like button, and you can laugh along with me in the comments of how I just stumbled across it. I'd already gone through and halfway archived the diskette at least. Um, and otherwise, subscribe to my channel. I was glad to this generated into a video tonight. That's fine. But that's all I have for now. This is IBM Museum. Thank you.